everyone, welcome to my spring tallowberry wreath tutorial. For this wreath, you'll need 4 bunches of tallowberries, an 8-inch grapevine wreath used as a base, a spool of floral wire, wire cutters, a hot glue gun, reindeer moss, and some ribbon in the color of your choice. So let's get started. So to make this wreath, you're basically going to take small bundles of tallowberry and attach it to the grapevine wreath base. I'm taking 3 to 4 stems of tallowberry and breaking off the bottom portion of the stem so that I've got a bundle that's about 3 to 4 inches in length. You can cut or break off the bottom portion of the stems, but they're pretty brittle, so breaking them is easier. And when I first started making this wreath, I thought I would individually wrap the bundles and then individually wire them to the wreath frame, but that quickly seemed tedious, so I adapted my plan. And I just placed the bundle on the wreath, wired it to the wreath, and then kept that wire continuously rolling. So I didn't cut the wire after the bundle. I'll cut the wire once I get close to the end so that I can finish off the wreath by wiring one last bundle in individually, and then I will fill in. So that's pretty much the pattern for the wreath. 3 to 4 stems of tallowberry, place it down on the wreath, wrap the wire spool around the tallowberry bundle and the wreath, and continue going. That's the pattern. This whole process should take you about 20 minutes roughly to finish the wreath and completely cover it in tallowberry. And then you can start filling in the gaps and holes. Once I got close to the end, I finished it off with one final bundle, and then I was left with a gap. For that gap, I decided to make an individual bundle and wire that one in by itself because it was hard to get it to tuck in correctly. So the last bundle I did wire in individually. And then you go and you take a look at the wreath and look at the symmetry and see where it needs to be filled in, because obviously my wreath is not perfectly symmetrical. I think I got a little carried away in some sections with more than 3 to 4 stems. So to fill in, I'm going to take individual stems and then hot glue them in. And this will fill in all the spots where I feel like it's not quite full enough or there's big gaping holes. Once I'm happy with the wreath, I'm going to have to cover the mechanics of this wreath, because wrapping the wire around the bundles makes for a really clunky look. You can see on the inside that the wire just really doesn't look very appealing. So I'm going to cover that with moss. I'm going to use reindeer moss in this chartreuse green. I know it comes in a few different shades of green. They dye it, I believe. But I'm going to use this chartreuse green because I really love this color and it just screams spring to me. So I'm going to take hot glue and glue the reindeer moss to the inside of the wreath where there are holes and where I can see the wire. I'm also going to do that to the outside edge. And then once I've attached my ribbon, I'm also going to do it to the back. You don't have to do that. That's just a preference of mine, because if you're going to hang this on a glass door, you'll be able to see the back of the wreath. And it's just not very pretty, and I'd rather it look nicer. So I'm going to hot glue some reindeer moss here. Careful when you're hot gluing, because when you push down on that moss, the glue will seep through and will burn your finger, so be careful. I'm so happy with the way the wreath turned out. It's so pretty, so simple. Now you can leave the wreath just like this and add a little wire to the back and hang it that way, but I'm gonna add some ribbon to the wreath. I'm gonna take a streamer of ribbon, fold it in half, and then use it as a way to hang my wreath. So I'll fold it in half, make sure that it's even, and then tie each side to the wreath form. The only variable is the top hanging piece. You can make that as long or as short as you'd like, and then pull the streamers through the wreath. So I'm gonna go back to covering up all the mechanics on this wreath, getting rid of all that unsightly wire. I'll just fill the whole back of this wreath with the reindeer moss, and then we'll be done. So here's the finished back of the wreath, completely covered in reindeer moss. I think it does a great job in hiding all the mechanics. And now if I choose to hang the wreath on a glass door, it'll look beautiful from either side. And here's the finished wreath. I am so happy with the way it turned out. I really love it. I love the tallow berries. I love the mossy green ribbon. I think the combination is really clean and modern, and it looks amazing on my door. If you get a chance to make this wreath, please tag me in social media. I would love to see how yours turned out. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, and we'll see you next time.